Because of the great wickedness of the Israelites of old, they, as God had said, were taken captive into Babylon, and the sanctuary lay in ruins. It was at this time that Daniel, faithful Daniel, was given a vision. The first time prophecy vision was given in Daniel 8. It says, "Unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed." Now this would have been quite perplexing because the sanctuary lay in ruins. So it says, "Unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed." To give further explanation of this time prophecy, in Daniel 9, it speaks of the 70 weeks, and it gives you the detail of when it started, and in it says this: 70 weeks are determined upon thy people, that is ancient Israel, and upon thy holy city, Jerusalem, to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins. They have rebelled against God and were captive in Babylon, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up the vision and the prophecy, and to anoint the most holy, to accept Christ as the Saviour. By doing this, they would seal up the vision and the prophecy and bring in everlasting righteousness. But they failed to do this, and of course, the prophecy continued down to the end times, down to the final generation. The prophecy is made secure by the time appointed for the death of Christ that was given on time, and we have a starting date given, but it extends down now to our time, and it began in 1844. In Daniel 7 it describes this scene. The books were open, there was the Ancient of Days, the sun was there, and there was 10,000 times 10,000 angels. They were looking on in the judgment of those who would be candidates for heaven. This is what was meant by the cleansing of the sanctuary. Those who would be candidates for heaven must make an end of sin, bring in everlasting righteousness, seal up the vision. They must do what ancient Israel did not do. And so it's given to the final generation. In our time, there has been a worldwide movement of a commandment-keeping people, and there will continue to be until the very end. The final generation is written up on the internet as a theology, a belief system held by some conservative members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, who claim that perfection, like the 144,000, will be achieved by some people in the last generation before the second coming of Christ. And so, according to that which was given in the prophecy to bring in everlasting righteousness, Christ is looking for a perfect people. A people who will be able to go through an experience that none has ever gone through before, speaking of the 144,000. But concerning the lives of those who meet the judgment, whether they are living or whether they are dead, they must have had a perfect relationship with Christ. That perfect relationship with Christ makes them worthy candidates for heaven. They are commandment-keeping people who are candidates for heaven. It tells us clearly in the book of Revelation. So not only is this a half-truth, what is said here, what was written on the internet, that there will be 144,000 who must have perfect lives, a perfect relationship. Christ spoke of this perfect relationship: drink this blood and eat this flesh. And he says, if you keep my commandments, you will be my friends, and I will manifest myself to you. Not only is that to be found in the last generation, it is to be found in all God's faithful people. Of the last generation, they will go through a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. And it will be during this time that everlasting righteousness will be brought in, when Jesus comes the second time to bring his own, to receive his own to a place that where he is, there we might be also. If you want to know more concerning the prophecy, 2,300 days, and the 70-week prophecy that belongs to the 2,300 days, click on the link, the 70 weeks.